Many people will be traveling on the roads this New Year's Eve. Today, I talk one-on-one with ABC News Force traffic safety expert Trooper Bob Beres for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Trooper Bob Beres, welcome back to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hey, always a pleasure to be with you, my man.
I appreciate it greatly. Obviously, you're ABC News Force traffic safety expert, and of course, you were a South Carolina highway patrolman for many, many years. It's New Year's Eve, and a lot of people will be traveling and obviously going out and about around town today. If you were a highway patrolman right now, how would you be preparing right now for New Year's Eve?
Oh, I'd be doing what I'm doing right now with you is letting folks know, passing out the safety message yesterday and today about the importance of not getting behind the wheel and especially drinking and driving. You know, law enforcement itself, after doing it for 25 years, this is the one day where everybody's out there looking for the drunk drivers. You know, with today's technology, it's not just the police out there looking for you. Now you have people reporting you too. They're picking up their cell phones. They're dialing star HP. They see a car swerving. You have road checks out there tonight, driver's license checkpoints. You have a large number of law enforcement out there looking for drunk drivers. So it's obviously never drink and drive, but tonight this is what they're looking for. So that's why you should, don't put yourself behind the wheel ever, but especially tonight.
Absolutely. You talk about those checkpoints. Where exactly are they here in the Low Country?
Well, each agency has them set up in different areas, and you have to ask the agency to give you the locations, and they certainly will if you ask them. It all depends. One time we would have it on one side of town, and the same group of guys, an hour later we go to another side of town. Normally they do it off statistics. So if you see a large area where there are a high volume of crashes or high volume of DUI arrests, they'll hold those checkpoints in those areas.
If you were to look at statistics now, and even if you look back at statistics when you were on the highway patrol, what were you all looking at?
Well, you look at crash data, you look at arrest data. If I asked for some data from the Highway Patrol a couple days ago, and they provided it to me. Last year, they arrested over 10,000 people all throughout South Carolina for DUI. Just DUI, right? Last year. This year, they've arrested over 9,000, almost 10,000 for DUI already. So this COVID pandemic, it didn't slow the drunk drivers down. They're pretty close to where they were, last year. So it's really sad that there's still this many people on the roadways drinking and driving. That's the ones that got caught. That's only like a third that were caught. Just think of how many people, did it and still continue to do it. And they'll probably do it until they get caught.
Generally, how many patrolmen are out on the roads for this particular holiday?
Everybody was working for New Year's. It's a big holiday. Everyone knows that this is the night that people go out and celebrate. And everyone knows around the world the ball drops at midnight. So we're out there, and the biggest thing is to get the drunk drivers off the roadway, limit your crashes, and obviously zero fatalities. That's the goal each and every day. A person suits up and goes on the roadway.
And what are like the heavily traversed areas around here that you all used to see on the roads?
Different areas. Interstate 26, people go downtown to party. You don't have those big parties that you normally saw over the past years. Patriots Point always had something going on. You saw something at the aquarium. All the bars downtown had something. So that's where people party. But then now they got to get back home. People also, they go to Savannah for New Year's and come back. So we've had people on interstates, back roads, secondary roadways, really just patrolling out there looking for the drunk drivers.
What should an average person look out for when they go to those back roads and secondary roads?
Well, I'll tell you what they should look out for as far as a drunk driver. People always ask me, how do you know a drunk driver? Well, you see someone going 70 in a 30 miles an hour zone. That's a suspected drunk driver. Somebody going 30 in a 70. Or I've seen people 25 miles an hour in the interstate in the 70 zone. They were drunk. People stopping well before an intersection. People falling asleep at the intersection in their car. Crossing the center line. Obviously running stop signs. Swerving in between lanes. Not changing. Not using their turn signal to change lanes. Swerving. So anything that causes you concern, dial star HP star 47. It's a free call. It goes to the local highway patrol dispatch office. and they'll dispatch a trooper out there to you.
And I hate to ask this question, but if someone is stopped, what should they do immediately?
If someone is stopped drunk driving,
Well, if someone's drunk driving and they get stopped, what should they do?
well, hopefully they don't put themselves behind the wheel. But during any traffic stop, find a safe place to pull over, put your vehicle in park, turn your interior light on, both hands on the wheel, and roll the window down, and wait for the officers to approach.
And you talked earlier about those tips. What tips do you want to give once again?
Well, we want to make sure no one drinks and drives. Right now, I can't see or imagine anyone going to a big party tonight because of COVID. Okay,
Right.
but if you are going somewhere, you already know where you're going. You already know what you're going to wear. Have a plan on how you're going to get home. Have a cab company's number in your phone right now. This morning, put an Uber, a ride sharing company such as Uber or Lyft or whatever. Put their number in the phone right now before you take your first sip. Plan on, if you're going to go somewhere, plan on staying at that place. If you're going to a family's house, plan on staying there, not driving home. But there's no reason anyone tonight or anywhere should get themselves behind the wheel if they've been drinking. One thing I've always heard, and you've seen it, growing up, people they drink all night and then ask a buddy that's drunk, hey, check me out. Do I look drunk? Or, first of all, if you have to ask yourself, am I drunk? Yeah, you're drunk. You don't need to be behind the wheel. You got to ask yourself. But you're asking another friend that's been drinking with you all night if you look good enough to drive, or if you're capable of driving. That's not the key.
Not at all. Well, Trooper Bob Beres, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure to have you on, and pleasure to be here with you. And call me anytime, my friend.
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay.